Hey, ladies and gentlemen, this is Carmine Sabia for Explain America, and Alvin Bragg is about a week away from starting his trial against Donald Trump, and the house of cards is falling apart. Before we get started, please make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe. Those little things really help us out, and they help our channel continue to grow. I think you'd have to be almost insane to not believe that Alvin Bragg is doing this trial for political purposes. But you don't really know, if you haven't followed the legal mumbo jumbo and the legal aspects of this case, just how much gymnastics he had to do to bend and shape these laws to go after Trump for basically what is tantamount to a misdemeanor. Now, he's a week away from starting this trial, and yet a legal expert just poked about a dozen or more holes in his case. Now, I think Alvin Bragg could probably charge Trump with sabotaging the Hindenburg and get a guilty conviction in New York City. So I think his odds are good. But imagine if what this legal expert is saying actually works, and in New York City, Donald Trump is acquitted. Wow, would that backfire so huge right before the election? I want you to listen to what he has to say and then let me know what you think. As always, please remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe. I'm Carmine Sabia for Explain America. We love you guys. God bless you. Take care, everybody.
Fox News legal analyst Greg Jarrett wrote about it on foxnews.com. Here to explain it now. Greg, your thoughts, barring a last-minute reprieve, the show starts Monday.
Yeah, and Trump is fighting for a fair trial, Brian, and an impartial jury. That's his constitutional right under the Sixth Amendment. But in Manhattan, as you say, the deck is stacked against him. You've got a biased judge, a jury pool dominated by Trump-hating New Yorkers. He's right, I think, to demand that the trial judge recuse himself because his adult daughter has a vested interest in her father's case. She runs a Democrat consulting firm that solicited tens of millions of dollars by citing her father's case. She has a financial interest in the outcome, and under ethical rules, that's a disqualifying conflict of interest. And Trump's other challenge is based on immunity, which is, of course, under review by the U.S. Supreme Court. Some of the allegations and evidence against him in the New York case took place while he was president. Why not wait until the high court decides that issue? Oral arguments are in just a couple of weeks, but there is a rush to convict Trump in advance of the election.
Right. So you say he's accused of falsifying company records to hide the nature of payments to his former lawyer as it relates to Stormy Daniels. This is something that they had to extend the statute of limitations to try and upgrade the charge from misdemeanor to a felony. Now, do you think that President Trump's legal team is up for the challenge? Could they be ready to defend the president in a way that could convince at least one juror?
Well, I would hope so. I think they're a fine team of lawyers, and their argument is quite valid. Paying somebody for silence is not a crime. So, instead, the DA, Alvin Bragg, accuses Trump of falsely accounting for it. At best, that's a mere misdemeanor, as you point out. That was barred long ago by the statute of limitations. So Bragg is trying to circumvent that by twisting the law and claiming, oh, it's an illegal campaign donation and thus a felony. No, it's not. The Federal Election Commission concluded it doesn't qualify as a campaign expenditure. The Department of Justice said, hey, there's no crime here. Alvin Bragg doesn't care.
Right.
He's decided to charge Trump criminally, even though he has no authority as a local prosecutor to charge federal crimes in a federal election.
Greg, just do this. Look at this trial. See the 76-year-old CFO of Trump Organization back in Rikers while illegal immigrants shoplift and ransack stores, beat up cops. No one gets charged for crimes. There seems to be a nonstop bail reform cannot be penetrated, but we have to go and arrest Donald Trump and his CFO to keep New York safe. Are they that oblivious to how bad this looks around the country, around the world?
They are oblivious, and I think they're, delusional. These indictments all have one common denominator, Brian. They're politically driven. And Americans see this for what it is, an abuse of our legal system meant to interfere in the presidential election. But polls show it's backfiring, only solidifying Trump's support. And voters see him really as a villain. Not as a villain, rather, but as a victim of unscrupulous political enemies who are weaponizing the law. So, we'll have to wait and see how it turns out.
More on this on FoxNews.com. You have your legal analysis there. One thing is for sure, the president's got to be in court most of the time for the next 6 weeks, which will not help his campaign.